Hi, welcome to Free Spirit and welcome to this request video. So very often on my Free Spirit channel, I get comments and requests to do a video on certain things, and a lot of people come by my channel. They're absolute, complete, total tarot beginners. Like, they don't know tarot whatsoever. They just bought their first deck or thinking about buying their first deck. And so I get a lot of questions and comments. Okay, so this is an answer to that request. She had just bought the Angel Wisdom Tarot. So you can literally, if you don't know tarot at all, I always recommend what I call the Angel Tarot cards. So there are more than these. I'm going to put them in the description box below. But when I talk about Angel Tarot, mainly the decks from Radley Valentine, this has even been re-released with Radley Valentine. They're all tarot decks that have the meanings written right on the card. So if you don't know tarot whatsoever, you can pick up a deck today and start right away. And she was asking, how can she start? She doesn't, and now she has her deck and she doesn't even know where to begin. So I'm going to show that. But I did want to show that when you're a total tarot beginner, you don't have to know the Rider-Waite-Smith. You don't have to know the symbols. You could start out with an angel deck, whether it's fairy cards or angel cards or archangel or Angel Wisdom. All these decks, they all have, and I'll again put in the description box, they all have the messages running the cards. They're great cards to get started with. Once you become more familiar with the cards, you can then pick up a Rider-Waite-Smith deck and bring it over. Once you know tarot, you can use any tarot deck whatsoever. So it doesn't really matter which deck you start with. That I always say the easiest way to start tarot is just to get started, because once you start and you have a love for it, an immediate taken to it, it will actually inspire you and create this enthusiasm for you to continually use them. And when you continually use them, you learn more, you gain more knowledge, you tap into your intuition. It's like one foot in front of the other. The best thing is just to get started. So because she bought the Angel Wisdom Tarot, we are going to use that particular deck for this video, but again, you can use whichever deck you want. So with the Angel Wisdom, all the decks, right, will have 78 cards. You're going to go in here, there's going to be a guidebook. She was talking about specific spreads. Every guidebook that you get will have those spreads. You can do a 3-card spread. You can do, she was talking about a Celtic cross. They will give examples in here. Also, besides, you could sit here and read the book and everything else. And I have lots of spirit tips about tarot cards in my spirit tips playlist if you're just starting out with tarot wanting to learn the cards. But this is just going to be when you've just gotten this kind of angel deck, how to get started. Now we're going to go right into the cards, but you can also always flip to what the actual meaning is in the book and get the expanded meaning, which can bring it home to you other than just the message on the bottom. See, all these cards will have the messages right here, and that's why you can easily get started right away. So you can read the bottom and let it bring up things in your intuition, and if you need more to bring it home to you, go and flip to the guidebook. You can use, again, they'll always give you sample spreads in various guidebooks, but I was explaining, you can do the 3-card spread, you can do a Celtic cross, you can do all that, but what I do is something called a freeform spread, and I'm going to show you the freeform spread, because any kind of suggested spread that you can do from a guidebook, you can just practice on your own. You can even Google a certain spread and do the layout. But what I'm going to do is a free form, because it's something that I've used for decades and it feels like a conversation, and so you don't have to be stuck in a particular spread. And to easily get started and just get familiar with the cards, let's start that. So you have your deck, right? So I don't know why this is all messed up, but say you have your deck here. All the messages are right here. You have your deck. I always advise shuffle the deck many times. Why? Because your energy will get infused into the cards. The easy way to do it is bridge shuffle, because your fingers naturally touch every card when you do bridge shuffle. Back in the day, they used to say separate your cards, pick up every card. I just bridge shuffle a lot. Now, when you're shuffling, you can ask whatever question you want. You could say, what would you like to tell me right now? What advice would be helpful to keep in my mind and heart right now? Or you could say, what does my week look like? What does my month look like? Or you could say, give me information about a particular situation. What's the advice around that? But you want to be clear as you're shuffling, what are you asking? And it has to be an open-ended question where they could give you advice on, where it could come through. It can't be a yes or no. So let's say, what would be helpful to know as we're ending this year, going into a new one? What's the clear advice for all? Because I'm going to do it for all who find this video. But what's important to keep in mind as we go into a new year? Perfect timing, right? The end of 2021 when I'm doing this video. And I'll show you how I do a free form. I'm just asking what's important, what should we keep in our minds and hearts for going into a new year? And I'm going to show you how I shuffle. Now, some people lay out the cards and pick cards. This is what I do. I overhand shuffle like this really quickly and wait for jumpers to come out. And I'm going to show you. So what is important? What should we keep in our minds and hearts for going into a new year? How do they want us to go into a new year? What should we hold in our minds and hearts? What's the bigger picture? Let's see. And if you go through the whole deck and no cards come out, it's actually good. You start again and you do it again, right? And you just go overhand like this. Now, if you can't shuffle like this, you can lay the cards out and pick a card. There are various ways. I show how I do it, and then you can modify and do what's comfortable for you. People read and do readings in multiple ways. You can decide what works for you. There's no hard rules on this, you know. So 2 cards instantly came out, and in the order, you're going to pick your cards in the order. We got, I knew it. This is the King of Wands. Oh my gosh, yes. And we have the Ace of Swords. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so what you're going to get here is you're going to read the bottom, right? So it says, what does it say here? Motivational, inspiring, theatrical, ambitious, take a leadership role, step into the spotlight, public speaking, keep your eyes on the big picture, communicate your vision, don't be sensitive to criticism. So this is a real go-getter, right? Now you're going to learn more about the King of Wands and what that means to be filled with passion. Now you have to remember also what I always say in all my spirit tips about tarot. You've lived every card in the tarot. What does it feel to be the king, embodying the king, where you're owning your passions, you're passionate, you're fiery, right? You think of the wands. So you think of the element of the wands as fire. You start infusing all of that into your readings. But just going by, so your brand, just starting out, you could read this. This is how they want you to go. Be ambitious. Take those leadership roles. Step out into the spotlight. Public speaking. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Don't get lost in what's going on in the little things. Communicate your vision and don't be sensitive to criticism. And here comes the Ace of Swords, right? So even if you don't even know that that's the Ace of Swords, you can look it up in the book and you'll know. But it doesn't even matter because right here it says brilliant ideas that may need refinement. Overcoming obstacles. And let me tell you, I have chills when I say that because in my readings of late, it's all about overcoming obstacles right now. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly. Again, communicate is coming up 2 times. Public speaking, communicate. I'll tell you why that's important. Communicate clearly and concisely and remain objective. So again, objective, big picture views. You see how it links together, what's leaping out, what's coming here. So it's overcoming obstacles. It's remaining objective is coming up in both these cards. To look at the big picture, don't get lost. There's going to be brilliant ideas, overcoming obstacles, to be firing and passionate, ambitious going forward. So it reads like a story. So these 2 came out. You're going to read the bottom, but then it's reading as a story. Like this is the first page, this is the second page, and you continue. And also if anything similar are riding on each other, like the similarities that I just overcoming obstacles, the communication is going to be important. Remaining objective. There were similarities in both cards. It's almost like a doubling down is what I always call it, a doubling down. So you read it together, you read it separately, and then together it starts forming a picture, right? So we're supposed to be really ambitious, overcoming obstacles, to communicate clearly, communicate your vision. Don't get lost in the little things. Keep the objective. You're going to have brilliant ideas. This is all helping us to overcome obstacles going into a new year. So we're getting to, oh wow, okay, so already we're getting 2 more, and in the order 3 more. The Hermit. Okay, the Hermit is major arcana, which you'll know from the book, but you don't even have to know that. Right here it says time spent, and we got something like this Oh no, we got another card in the reading. Time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude. Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor. Self-discovery. You may be using this time to go within for illumination. You could also be pulling things from the card. See how he's lit up from within? Whatever grabs your attention inside the card, pay attention to. And whatever the meaning is here, they're saying, you know, time spent in peaceful meditation, solitude. You're going to be seeking out or becoming a spiritual mentor, self-discovery. You may be taking a time out to go within at this time, especially at the end of the year. And what does that bring up for you when you go at the end of the year, when you start mulling things over? That's come up in readings. It's the time of year where we start going within and evaluating everything. The two more we have, oh my gosh, we have the Nine of Pentacles and we have the 7. Oh, wow. So it could be coming about, let's read this, exploring, actually this came underneath it, but let's do this. A loss of peace of mind or personal freedom. Take caution and be aware of others' actions. A material loss. Make sure you're being honest with yourself. Embarrassing secrets. Now, we've all experienced some loss, right? We all have had this loss of peace of mind or personal freedom, right? And look at the Nine of Pentacles. So we're going from that and trying to come out into the Nine of Pentacles, which is enjoying the fruits of your labor. Hard work that leads to a luxurious life. Buying yourself something special, happily and successfully self-employed, enjoying your solitude. Again, doubling down on solitude. So solitude is going to be important. You go back, it's kind of that match game. When you're like, where was that spoken about before? Solitude. Solitude is going to be important at the end of the year. What it looks like, we're triumphing out of here to create our abundance from loss, from things not working out, a loss of peace of mind or personal freedom, to take caution of people's actions. There could have been sneaky or deceiving people or circumstances or situations, but we're coming out of it enjoying the fruits of our labor. That hard work is leading off to payoffs. This is the Nine of Pentacles, when you've created your abundance. So it's like all of this, to be ambitious, to be clearly communicating, to overcoming obstacles, to going within for more answers and insights, to get past this, the loss, into abundance, to hard work paying off. So that's the reading that they're trying to bring forth, or the messages they're trying to bring forth, or even remain cautious because you want to come out where your hard work is paying off this time of year, going into a new year. You may be actually going in solitude to make sure you're not going to be experiencing this again, how you can enjoy the fruits of your labor going into a new year. That hard work will be paying off. We're going to be getting out of this energy. So it reads like a story. You read each one as it comes out, and then all together, it's quote unquote like the advice, right? I had asked, what's the advice going into a new year? It's going to be like, be passionate, ambitious, embody the King of Fire, the King of Wands, King of Fire, where you're ambitious, right? You're going for things. You're keeping your eyes on the big picture. You're also getting brilliant ideas that are going to help you over obstacles. And you could get those ideas when you're in meditation, when you're in solitude, and you're reflecting on there's loss of peace of mind or of freedom, that you need to be cautious of things and situations and people, right? When it comes to hard work paying off, to success, to abundance. And the King of Wands, it's going to be really important for you to remain ambitious and passionate going forward here. And you're going to be, the last card is always like the end. So very similar to the Celtic cross or whatever. It's like the end is like the beginning card and the end card, and the middle are like the means and the journey to this. That's how I do like a free form, and you know it's done. It feels like this is the last, like this is all about hard work paying off, your efforts being paid off, enjoying the fruits of your labor. The hard work that you've put in is creating abundance. See the coins here. So that's how you read it, as a story. So each one that comes out, and you read the cards, and then you read it like a story. And if it doesn't, if it's not clear, then you can always shuffle another card and get another advice. So if we said, what's the key advice to staying in our power and for hard work paying off? Now let's go more. It's never over until you feel it's over. If you want more advice, let's pull some more advice. What would be helpful to keep in mind to stay ambitious, inner fire? Big picture views are going to be important, right? Overcoming obstacles, hard work leading to great success. They're saying awakening. Wow, awakening. Wow, beautiful. So here it says, a temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. Embrace your own uniqueness, charitable actions. So what's going to be important in this journey of bringing hard work to abundance, right, is to pause. And we had that with the Hermit, and I even paused there being like, oh, that's similar to the card we just got in the reading, and we had gotten this card. It's the Hangman in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, but the awakening, that they want us to temporarily pause for that reflection, that insight. You're going to have an awakening where you actually see things in a whole new light, like a new perspective on things. He's hanging upside down, and he'll have a new perspective on things, especially with the ways to go. See what you pick up in the cards? Embrace your own uniqueness is going to be so important, to be nobody but yourself. Charitable actions. So that's what we're bringing, an awakening, a new perspective to things as we go forward into a new year. And to be in your uniqueness is going to be part of creating your abundance. Hard work is going to pay off, but also everything that makes you you and unique. And you're going to be having awakenings, like new ways of doing things, new ways of seeing things. It's going to be very important to go forward on your brilliant ideas. And also your brilliant ideas could come from when you're seeing things from a different perspective, when you're going inside. See, it all plays together. It's almost like that, what's that concentration game where you remember what cards came out where, because each one is like an exclamation mark on another one. So that's my quote unquote free form, and it feels done, complete. It could feel like a conversation. And if it's not, I call you clarify, you pull another card. But this is how you can get started right away, and you can ask whatever question you want. Now, if you want to do a particular spread, like a Celtic spread or any kind of spread, I have to tell you, I tried those spreads in the past, like when I first started out when I was a teenager, but I never consistently used them. I like to have it more of a free flow conversation, because like when I'm sitting, I always call it a conversation. If I'm sitting across from someone, I don't say you have to answer me in this ABC fashion. I want to have it more open so I can get more answers. I can keep going if I want to. It's like that. So feel free. This is how I do it. This was a request. If you're a total complete beginner to tarot, how you can get started right away with any of the angel decks, I'll put in the description box. They all have the messages on the bottom, all the decks that I showed you. And this is how, if you're just getting a brand new deck, especially this year, going into New Year, I guess around the holidays, people treat themselves like, I want to learn tarot. They get their tarot deck. You can get, this was the Angel Wisdom Tarot. Then you have like the Archangel Power, which I love too. These cards, they have the messages right on the cards as well. You should see some videos or close-up reviews of the deck and see if you resonate with the artwork, if you like the artwork and you like the tone of the messages. That's how you can choose. This is the Fairy Tarot. This is the back of the cards. And they have the messages, see, right on the bottom of the cards. All of these Angel Tarot cards have the messages right there. So if you don't know tarot at all, this is the Angel, and then the Angel Tarot. This was the first Angel Tarot to ever come out with that. This was all made for sensitive people who, the Rider-Waite-Smith may be a little jarring with the Death card or the Tarot card or things like that. But see, they all have messages right there. You don't have to know a thing about tarot to get started. And I always say the best thing about tarot is just to get started, because it will spur you on to just keep going, because it just does. It just magnifies. And it is just such an amazing journey. And I also feel like what the skills that you use when you do tarot cards help you in real life. You really do. The wisdom, the knowledge, the intuition, everything that it makes you pick up and use and everything else, and trust yourself with what you're getting. Now, I also have done a video about, you ever want to test your accuracy? Well, first of all, if you want to test your accuracy, it's like ask questions like, what does my week look like? I used to do this when I was a kid just starting out, like, what's my week going to look like? Or, cards about a situation. And I swear, when you're living your life, you will see that card play out in your life. So you start to trust yourself more. And there's something really important about that too, especially practice, and learn to trust yourself, because then you'll have the foundation. That's a journey in itself too. So this is and it helps you even in real life to trust yourself, right? To trust what you're getting, what you're picking up, your own intuition. It's just so intertwined. I say it's way beyond the cards. It's way beyond the cards. It's like you bring it, it's intertwined with your life. Just like every card here, you've literally lived. I always say you've lived every card in the tarot. But that is the amazing interchange. That's why it's just such an amazing journey. Okay, so yes, so this has been a request video for all who are just total, complete, absolute, total tarot beginners, how you can get started right away with any of these angel decks and how I would read it to get started. And you can also, of course, use any spreads you want, but this is my free flow. I call it free form spread that I've always used, but every guidebook will have suggested spreads, and you can do 3-card spread, past, present, future. You can do Celtic, hopes, wishes, dream, you know, that whole thing. I just don't really use them. They're more elaborate spreads you can try. It's always fun to try spreads, but I really love the free-form spread. So another thing, people can suggest how they do it. You can watch readers on YouTube, you could do, but whatever works more comfortably for you, do. You know, as long as you just do it. So you can tweak as you go along and pick up tips as you go along, but be yourself, be unique. Just like this says, be unique. Embrace your own uniqueness was like the last card message. Always do that in life with everything, and even tarot reading. But I wish you the best with your journey with tarot. It is quite amazing, and I do wish you the best, and have fun with your cards, and you will be amazed. You will be amazed. I wish you the best. Take care. Bye-bye.